Hello everyone and welcome to another brand new video. Today we have to go over the 9th episode of Pokemon Horizons, and this is our first look at Paldea. The Rising Voltaclers finally arrived at Paldea, and we get to see a bit of Liko and her family life, well, mainly her dad and her interactions with him. But before we get to any of that, let's just go quickly through the episode. So we actually get to see a little bit of Mesagosa today. So when the kids go, okay, so it's Freed, Roy, and Liko going through Mesagosa. They're all together going to Liko's house. The other Voltaclers really aren't doing, well, actually no, Molly and Orla go shopping, but mainly we see Liko and Roy, we see them go through Mesagosa. They try on glasses and stuff and look around different shops and eat different food, and it's all really adorable. I kind of wish we could have seen a bit more of them going through Mesagosa and looking around, seeing stuff, and it would have been really nice to show some customization here, but anyway, I guess they weren't going to do that. But regardless, at least they showed a little bit with the glasses scene. But anyway, yeah, it's really Liko, Freed, and Roy going through Mesagosa, but that doesn't really last for too long. We quickly get going to Liko's home, which I'm guessing is meant to be based off of the house in the actual game Scarlet and Violet where the player is from, because it looks pretty much like the same house. But anyway, there's also this little like subplot of Dot and Quaxly like washing the Needle Thing costume, because I guess it's dirty, so they have to wash it. And interestingly enough, we see Dot like kind of going around the ship, or we see Ludlow, he's like asleep, so he's not really paying attention to her, but she's out of her room, but they don't really make a big deal of it. But anyway, I brought that up because as Dot is washing the Needle Thing costume, she lets it out to dry, I guess, and Liko ends up seeing it later on, but she doesn't really react to it all too much, so I don't know if they're gonna like have Liko eventually, and Roy, I guess, discover that Dot is Needle Thing, but I guess we'll get to that later. I just thought that was interesting. But anyway, so they get to Liko's house, and long story short, the whole plot here is about Liko's dad not really wanting her to, continue on with her adventures because he's scared for her. But we see that he's just, kind of an affectionate dad. He really kind of he sees her and he like rushes up to hug her, but she doesn't really want to be hugged. But anyway, so there's also this other side plot of Liko as Sprigatito not having an issue because Sprigatito gets a bit jealous of Liko spending time with her Fido. And if you don't remember, that's one of Sprigatito's, like, actually the species personality, is that it gets jealous easily and it does not like seeing its trainers spend time with other Pokemon. So we see that a bit here with Sprigatito. It gets kind of jealous of Liko and Fido, but it gets over it pretty much kind of oddly later on. It stays at Liko's house for some reason. Liko goes back to the Rising Voltaclers airship with Roy and Freed, but Sprigatito stays at the house, and then, Fido just kind of gives it a pillow, and they just chill, and they're all of a sudden friends. It's like fine. So that's kind of weird. I thought that was resolved pretty quickly because earlier Sprigatito kind of just goes around, like leaves from following Liko and just wanders around and is kind of ignoring her, and she's looking for it. But yeah, it kind of gets resolved really quickly, like the next day. But anyway, as for Roy, he doesn't really do much in this episode. He kind of just spends time reading books about Pokemon and other things and different regions and stuff in Liko's house, so that's fine. This is more of a Liko-focused episode anyway, but yeah, I just want to throw that in what he's doing. But anyway, so Liko ends up going to buy some Pokemon food and goes to get Sprigatito the next day, but she ends up encountering this wild Lechonk, and it attacks her because it wants her food. But Sprigatito just shows up and saves her, and they kind of just have a quick little spar, and it uses a quick attack, and Lechonk just runs off, and that's about it. But it's fine because they just need to reunite and be happy again, so they do that. And then the episode pretty much ends with them deciding to go to Artisan, because I believe they say that's where Rayquaza was seen, because remember, Rayquaza is in Paldea according to Dot, and I believe they said that it is in Artisan, which explains why they're going to Artisan in the next episode, and they're going to meet Nemona and Brassius. So that's pretty much it for today's episode. It wasn't all too action-packed. It was just really just giving us a little bit of a taste of Liko and her relationship with her dad. And something I thought was interesting, Liko, how she, like, rarely ever has Sprigatito in its Pokeball, kind of like, I guess a lot of Pokemon tend to stay out of their Pokeball these days, but Liko actually pulls it out to get Sprigatito when it's being fussy, but it doesn't end up going in. I just find that interesting, like, these guys don't even really address the fact that these Pokemon aren't in their Pokeballs, but I hope one day they bring them back in there, just for a little bit, just so we can acknowledge that they're using them. But it doesn't really matter. But anyway, long story short, so to the next episode, like I said, that's going to be where we meet Nemona and Brassius. So it looks like, again, they're going to Artisan because Rayquaza allegedly was seen there, and I guess that's what Rory's going to be doing. And so we're going to see Nemona, and we're going to see a little bit of Brassius. Brassius is not at his gym because it seems like he's upset about something, but he's going to encounter the kids, and they're going to also meet Nemona, and I'm guessing we're going to see Brassius battle. We don't see who he's battling, but I'm guessing he's battling Nemona, only because we know Nemona is battle crazy. Nemona, she's just kind of insane. You guys remember me, I wasn't the biggest ultra fan of Nimona because I just thought she was really kind of nuts. But anyway, I guess we'll be seeing her in the next episode. Probably she's going to be the one to battle Brassius, I assume. I don't think it's going to be Liko or Roy. Maybe Freed or someone, but I assume it's going to be Nimona. I don't think they're going to have Nimona here, and she's not going to battle someone, so I assume she's going to be battling Brassius, maybe just to show the kids how it's done. And I don't know, are we going to see Liko and Roy get an interest in challenging gyms? I don't really know if that's going to be a thing. Maybe it will be, we'll have to wait and see. But overall, I'm excited for that episode. This episode was pretty good too. Again, it was more slower paced, but it wasn't bad or anything. Like I said, I was just happy to see Paldea. I'm glad we're just finally here. Hopefully we'll get to see a little bit more in the next upcoming episodes. But yeah, this one was really good for showing Liko's father, you know, that she's competent enough to travel around. So that's pretty good for that. I would have liked to see a bit more of Roy, but again, this was really focusing on Liko and what she was doing with Sprigatito, so it's pretty fine that Roy wasn't seen too much here. Hopefully we'll see him more in the next episode anyway, and the next episodes come, especially since we know where Quaze is supposed to be around. Also, there was another cute little scene where Dot draws a picture of Liko on the ship. So she's trying to interact with Liko a bit more, and we see her walking around the ship a bit more again, talking to Ludlow, kind of. So hopefully we'll see a bit more of Dot interacting with everyone else as well. But as for that, that's pretty much all I wanted to say for this episode. Pretty good one. I'm excited to see more of Paldea, and I will see you guys all in the next episode review. Let me know what you guys thought of today's episode, if you're excited for next week. And overall, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one. Thank you!